Welcome back to Whitt Acres. Today's a planting day. We have a hodgepodge of things to get planted, but we're going to be starting down here in the vegetable garden. So last video we got the compost and I was able to get it filled up in this raised bed, top off the other raised bed, and make this new potato patch here, as well as some other areas in the garden. The last few years I've done my potatoes up on the food forest, but I decided to bring this down into the vegetable garden now along this fence row. So I put down cardboard and then layered in some compost, and I'm going to be putting in a couple furrows, probably 3 furrows in here, and then planting the potatoes along this row. I don't know if I have enough space on this yet for all the potatoes that I have, but I can always plug them in another location, or I can even expand the potato row down the fence line a little bit more if I just gather some more cardboard and compost. So I'm really behind on my planting this year, so it'll be nice to have this compost and get everything planted really easily without a lot of heavy digging. Let's see what I have here for potatoes. I was even afraid to open these bags because it's been a couple months actually since I bought these. They've been in bags on the patio for the last couple months, and I just didn't want to open them to see what was going on. I was just hoping for the best, and actually they look pretty good. They have nice growth on them and it's not too long, but we do have some burnt ends, so hopefully once they get into the ground they'll get some new energy and shoot up some new roots or new shoots. But you can see we have some roots here. This was actually rooted into the other one, but they're ready to go. So I believe these ones are the Yukon Gold. And I have about 5 pounds of the Adirondack Blues and another 5 pounds of Red Norlands, I think. So we're gonna get all these planted. I think I'm gonna do 3 rows in here, do 3 furrows, and hopefully that'll be enough spacing. I think that'll work out, and we'll get these planted and then move on to the peppers. So that turned out better than I was planning. I wasn't even picturing doing the furrows until I got down here, but I really like the way that turned out. I do need to come down here and soak this with water, just heavily saturate this with water, and then I'm going to put hay over top of it and then soak it again with water to keep that moisture in, because everything is so dry around here. We just haven't had any rain in a while. But I'm going to have to hook some hoses up to get them all the way down here, so I'm going to keep planting, get everything that I want to get planted, and then I'll water everything at the end. This set will be really easy. I just have 6 peppers here. I think they're all bell peppers, not even 100% sure. I did plug in 4 banana peppers I got from my aunt. So we have those in already. I'm just going to plug these 6 in that I started from seed into this bed as well, and it'll be nice and easy because this is all compost all the way down. They definitely could use some water too, so I'll make sure to get everything at the end. Now peppers, as they say, like to hold hands, so you want to keep these within about a foot. About a foot spacing is pretty good with peppers, because then the branches will be able to touch each other, and they like the leaf overlap. Helps shade the fruit and keep it from burning. So I'm going to keep the same pattern that I did, and I'm just going to keep the 4 square going down that back side and leaving this front side open for some more diversity plants that I just don't have time to put in yet. Those went in so easy. I love how easy it is to plant in the soft compost. I just use my little kneeling board here to help span the gap and help disperse my weight as I step into the compost. Just because it's so soft right now, you really sink down into it. We got the potatoes and the peppers in. I also want to be planting my pumpkins today. Not all the pumpkins, but I do want to get my giant pumpkins in the ground. So I have this pile of compost we dumped here. I'm gonna have to pile this up into a mound so I can get the pumpkin planted into it, and then get it protected so the predators don't try and come and dig it up or anything. So I'll be doing that in the evening. I don't want to be planting my pumpkin in the heat of the day, so it does cause some stress to be planted in the heat of the day as you're moving the root system, but I don't want to be doing that to the pumpkin, which as peppers are going to experience, and some of the other plants I want to get in today, but I don't want to do it to my pumpkins because I want them to have their best shot. So I'm going to be planting them in the evening so they can go through the night and adjust, and then pop up in the morning and warm up with the day. Hi, did you go for a ride in the back, oh puppy? Yeah, you're turning the compost, huh? This is where my 100-foot hose lands, so I need an extension to get it the rest of the way down into the garden. So I was just grabbing everything I need for my next planting project, and I have a problem. I was bringing all my pots and hanging baskets in that I want to get planted out, and we have something up in the corner of the greenhouse. Oh yeah, something flying to it too. So we're gonna head in here. And that, oh yeah, that's a funnel. So I don't want to be messing around in the greenhouse here. I brought up some yellow jacket foam. I'm going to hit this and then let it go for a while, come back and do this project here. Well, it doesn't seem like there's anything on it, so I'm just gonna grab everything and bring it outside and do the project not in the greenhouse today. Come here. We'll just let those bees find out I don't want their nest there. So over here by the pond, we're gonna get my hanging basket started. Just need my soil. I have 3 pots here, and I went to the store the other day and picked up a couple flowers that I didn't start from seed. Just 3 3-packs, and I got a red begonia, white begonia, and a dusty miller. So I'm going to be able to make 3 arrangements from this. I'll just put 1 of each of these in each of the pots, and then I'll place them around the landscape, and we'll have some consistency and color. I have some Miracle-Gro. I have a little bit of potting mix left over, and I have some Happy Frog soil conditioner. So I'm going to be mixing these together and filling up these pots here. I do have to pull this out and amend this pot. I'm going to reuse the cocoa fiber because I only had 1 new one, and it doesn't even fit this one. So we're just going to go a little bit short this year and have the flowers fill it out. and we're all done. I think I'm really gonna like this combination. I'm gonna get them all placed and show you where they go. You can see both areas here that I want to put them. One is going to be in the middle of the yard on the shepherd's hook next to the Oriole feeder, and the other one's going to be over by the pergola through the archway and on the other shepherd's hook that's up there. And the last one here goes on the wellhead out front. So we have that just for a little splash of color out here on the front porch. While I was at the greenhouse, I did pick up a couple other things that I want to get in the ground today. Down here soaking in the water at the pond, I have a Coffee Cups elephant ear that I picked up. I used to have a Black Magic elephant ear and I really liked it, but this was the darkest one I could find. So I want to get this one in and hopefully I can keep it alive this year instead of it dying off like the Black Magic did. This is a proven winner's elephant ear. It can get from 36 to 60 inches tall. It can do full to part sun, and I'm hoping it'll do really nicely right here in the poppy bed underneath the 9-bark. The 9-bark is blooming gorgeously right now, covered in pollinators, all kinds of pollinators too, bees to flies. But we have the lupin finishing up here. The poppies are just coming in, but there's not a lot of them. And just to add a little bit of texture, I think an elephant ear right in that gap's gonna look beautiful. Easy, pup. Ooh, nice roots on it. Not root bound at all. Ready to be going in the ground. So I think this is going to work out really nicely in here. It gets enough sun, I think, to do well, and it has just enough shade from the 9-bark coming over top of it that I think it'll start reaching out and over the poppies, kind of into the pathway, but hopefully not too far. You can see how it kind of has a hood coming over from the 9-bark. So we'll see how this grows. I gotta get that out of here. Big old maple tree, that's been here for a while. I gotta pull that out, and then we got a big old burdock behind it. And even a big old cherry that's been in there for years coming out of the top. And I gotta get back there and pull a lot of that Virginia creeper out of there. It's starting to take over. But this is a planting day. I can't get into weeding out the gardens or I'll get stuck and I won't get things into the ground. I have one more thing that I bought from the greenhouse while I was there, and that's gonna be going down by the pond. I had to set it around while still in the pot, a couple different locations to figure out which spot that I wanted it. But I think I figured out where I'm gonna put it. So I finally went and did it, and I bought a palm tree. Now it does get too cold in the winter for this to survive, but I am going to be putting it in the ground, and I'll probably dig it up in the fall to try and save it. I think if I put it right behind this hosta, it'll be a nice backdrop for the pond as we're on the patio. I have to get in here and pull some of the dandelion weeds out and the creeping Charlie. So I don't want to be putting this out here in a pot, because if a windstorm comes, it has a good chance of knocking it over, maybe falling in the pond. And I don't want that happening. I would rather it be in the ground and have a nice solid root system. It can grow, it can pull a lot of moisture and more nutrients from the ground. And I won't have to maintain it as much as it would be in a pot. And then in the fall, I'll come out here, dig it up, and maybe pot it up at that point and store it in the garage so it can survive the winter. Got some honeybees down here working on the dandelions, but I'm gonna have to clear these weeds out so I can have a nice clean spot to plant. We have the hosta here, the Pugster buddleia bush, and then some Asiatic lilies scattered through. So I'm gonna be putting it right behind all three of those, and hopefully it'll be nice and tall and stand above all of them, adding a nice backdrop to the pond. What are you doing, little chicken? You enjoying the view? Can't blame you. And I also have these irises that I dug up from the barn pen that they were in, and I need to find a place for these because they're not only drying out in the wheelbarrow, they're also holding up my wheelbarrow so I can't actually spread any wood chips right now. I'm just not 100% sure where I want to put those irises yet, and there's going to be some digging involved, so I don't want to just place them anywhere. I want to put them where they're going to stay for a while. Go ahead and unplug the chicks' heat lamp. They don't really need that today, and they're getting big for the brooder. Trying to get my planting done this morning, which it's already afternoon. It's 12:35 right now, so I didn't get it done this morning, but I'm trying to get that done so I can get back to work on the chicken tractor that's going to get those chicks moved out of their brooder and get them out onto grass. There's just a lot going on here. I'm going to come out and steal some of the tomatoes off the farm stand, get them planted. I have some extras of certain ones, so I'm going to take the extras, which is going to be some ox heart, some Roma, and Celebrity. I think the rest of these just, yeah, we have red cherry, atomic grape, chocolate stripes, blueberries. So I'll leave the rest of these here, and if no one buys them, then I'll come back and plant them myself. All right, well, I'm going to quickly pop these tomatoes in the ground. I'm going to bury them up to the stem as deep as I can get them, all the way down. Pull all the lower foliage off so you don't bury any foliage. But I'm going to try and get these in quickly because it is scorching out here. Now, tomatoes are not like peppers. They don't need to be holding hands. They'd actually like to have a lot of airflow, as much airflow as you can give them. So good foot spacing to 2 feet is desired. I'll take this all the way down to the bottom here. That's deep. So you can see the difference in height once you get it planted. I'm leaving extra space in the middle. It can stay bare, but I'll probably come in and plant some herbs or something in the middle there, maybe even flowers, just something to keep the smell different and add some diversity and color. So no, this is a last year bed that I built, so it's actually only topped off with compost this year, but it is still soft all the way down, which is really nice to be planting in. So we got the tomatoes in. These first 4 were mystery tomatoes, and I did put an egg underneath them, cracked an egg at the bottom of the hole. So we're gonna try that, see if it does any better. Then these 3 I planted the Celebrity, the Roma, and then the ox heart. I didn't put an egg in these ones, but we'll just see how they do. We also got the peppers in this bed, and we have plenty of extra room to plug some more things in, and the potatoes are in as well. So I'm gonna get the hoses stretched out, get everything watered in, then get some hay from the barn and mulch over the potatoes. Then I'm gonna wanna water in the hay so it keeps it there and doesn't blow away in the wind, because we still don't have any rain on the forecast. Well, my hose at 150 feet does not even reach the second bed, let alone the potato row, so I'm gonna have to get another hose out. Someday I'll get things set up right. All right, I'm back down here in the garden after the heat of the day has passed. I got all the watering done over there on the potatoes. I still want to go up to the barn, grab some hay and bring it down and then water it again, but I want that water to soak in. So I'm going to take this time to plant my pumpkins. I have all the compost dumped over here, but I have 2 pumpkins that I want to plant, and I'm going to be putting one right here. And I think I'm going to take some of this compost and move it over here to this little hill spot, and then I'll plant the other one over here to let the vine grow out that way, and that'll give both of them enough space to grow. I can't put them both over here, they'll just get all intermixed and they'll probably end up getting a mildew from not having enough airflow. So I want to make sure they have enough space, and I think if I get it up over here by this, that'll work. I'm just going to cover these weeds up with some cardboard and plant right on top of it. Alright, well, I'm going to be planting my pumpkin here in a big pile of compost. I'm going to be using some root inoculant to help boost its growth. This is the stronger looking of the two pumpkins, so I'm going to be putting this one in the bigger pile of compost, and I have another one for where I made up a spot over there. So we're just going to pop it out nice and easy and get her into the soil. I already soaked it down really good, so we're all nice and wet, and once I put her in, I'm going to go ahead and water her in again. Let's go ahead and drop her in. Pretty nice root growth there. Not pot bound at all. Ready to go, I would say. Now the vine is going to go opposite the first leaf, which back here is the first leaf, so I'm putting the vine to go that way. And then I'm going to sprinkle all this root inoculant in here. It's all organic. I need to lift you up, girl. I need just a little bit, and then get it underneath you. Just a dash. Go ahead and work that in a little bit. Want it in direct contact with the roots, though. You don't want to bury your stump too deep. Or don't bury your stump at all, actually. Settle her in nice and gently. And that is it. We're going to go ahead and water her in once I get the other one planted. Alright, I got the second pumpkin in, and I'm getting real excited to watch these two grow. Just have to mulch the potatoes, water it in, and then I gotta go close up the barn. Alright, that's gonna be all for this one. I think we got a lot accomplished today, but there's a lot more to get planted. So if you enjoy gardening videos, make sure to come back, hit subscribe down below, hit that like button before you leave, and you can see me and Echo on the next one. Thanks for watching.